132 to 113 million years ago in what is now China and Mongolia, there existed one of the last of the stegosaurs, the Wuerhosaurus. Today we're going to take a look at PNSO's take on this last of its kind. Hello, welcome to Wuerhosaurus Rex, the channel where we review and discuss all things dinosaur and other prehistoric animals. How have you guys been? It's been a minute. Needed to take some time off again, but that's mostly because of a lack of product, not because I needed to unwind or took a vacation. Just been trying to stretch out, what little I have on deck here. So that's why there's been so many days in between the last review and this one. The last review you all may have known was for the PNSO's Tyrannotitan. And I had mentioned how I had somehow overlooked the Wuerhosaurus by PNSO number 82 because the Tyrannotitan is numbered 83, and I had thought, whatever happened to 82? And then I looked and was like, oh, I skipped over Wuerhosaurus, but here we are, got it now, and glad to have it. As I stated in the opener, Wuerhosaurus is, as far as we know, I'm sure there's probably something else, but as far as I know, I'll go with that. I'll keep it all on me. The last, or at least one of the last of the stegosaurs, and this was in the Cretaceous. Stegosaurs dominated. They just, they were all over the place in the Jurassic, all over the world. And here we have Xilin, the Wuerhosaurus, number 82 for PNSO, representing the Cretaceous in China and Mongolia, looking pretty magnificent with the plates. And, of course, the thagomizer at the end, the spikes. We'll take a closer look at that and to see how close to the image that we have on the packaging does the paint job on the actual model, what that is. We've got there at the top, you see another image close up of Xilin. And then on the reverse here, we've got more. The same image that we saw on the other side. Of course, this is PNSO, so we're going to get the booklet, the info booklet that comes with images of the model. Sometimes we get actual images, artwork of the beast itself, as you can see right there. And we've got other information speaking on like anatomical specificities of the creature. And there's more actual artwork of the Wuerhosaurus. They talk about the color and stuff, so pretty nice. As always, it's pretty cool. And then, of course, you know what it is. We get a poster, and I don't look at the posters until I review the model with you guys, so I don't know if it's toy photography or an actual artwork image. And we have an actual artwork image of the Wuerhosaurus looking real good right there. What do you guys think? Let me know. Here we have our Wuerhosaurus, Xilin, the Wuerhosaurus, on our rotating base. And as far as the accuracy of the model's colors versus what we see on the packaging, it's more or less the same. I would say in person, it's more saturated. The colors are darker. The browns, especially the dark browns, are definitely darker than what we have on the packaging. But in terms of the design and everything else, that is definitely on point. What's on point from my looking at it are the plates. PNSO has provided some nice color. Looks like a blue-green on the plates there. And it's looking pretty nice. It's got the species has a relatively long neck which kind of reminds me of another species, and we will be taking a look at some other stegosaurs later on down the line there. It was thought, it's in some arenas, paleontologists, scientists think that Wuerhosaurus was just another genus of Stegosaurus, not just another species of stegosaur. But once again, you're going to have those types of back and forths, which I'm here for, because that's what makes this hobby or interest, interesting. Anyway, let's take a closer look at the Xilin and check out some of these details. Now that we've got our Wuerhosaurus Xilin up close, we can take a better look. And I was mentioning the blue-green coloration on the plates. It starts right there at the top of the neck too, and goes its way down. The plates are basically a brownish color, and they've been washed over with that blue-green paint. So that's pretty cool. You've got nice detailed head. The eyes are not yellow, but and not orange. Somewhere in that neighborhood with a black pupil. You can see the mouth. When you have such a small head, you actually have to really look for it. And it does have nostrils at the tip of the snout there. The pose is the animal is looking off to its right there. And on the rear, the tail is swinging at its left. Bringing that back there a little bit so you can see a little bit more of what we got going on there. We've got, like I said, it's kind of, 3 different shades of brown we've got there. The base is basically like a caramel kind of brown. And then, of course, if you were to look at it from the top, which I'll turn it over right there, you can see what's going on there. It looks like somebody poured chocolate and it just drizzled all on both sides there, as you can see, looking very nice. And that chocolate, if you will, really drizzled down the hind limb. And on the rear, you have some of that caramel color. And then it actually blends and melts off into a more beige type of color. The same thing with going down the belly there. You've got some nice wrinkles. It lightens up. And then, of course, when you get to the underbelly, as always, it's going to be lighter than the rest of the animal. The forelimb, it's got that same like beige color as the base. But then it transforms into a more chocolatey, if you will, milk chocolatey type of color for the leg. It would be technically the forelimb or forearm of the forelimb, and that's darker. And then, of course, you've got the toes, and they're painted just a little bit lighter color than the rest of the limb. And once again, looking at the plates, as you can tell, let me move it back just a hair, and see about getting, I think it's pretty focused in. Once again, we've got that brown, it's like a rust kind of brown, right? And then we've got the shots of the blue-green along the plates. The plates, as you can see, are less pronounced than on a true Stegosaurus, But once again, it was thought that this is just another genus of Stegosaurus in some circles, Other circles, it's its own species, Wuerhosaurus. And this particular species, I think there are 2 species of Wuerhosaurus. This one is Homini, or homini. I'm going to go with homini. And this was the larger of the 2 species. And speaking of that, let me zoom out a little bit so we can get all of our Wuerhosaurus in there. This is definitely the homini species. The homini species was estimated to be about 23 feet long. The other species about 16 feet. So with our trusty ruler here, keep in mind that Xilin is turned a little bit. He's not, or she is not straightened out. So that's going to impact what we get here. I've got just to the end of the thagomizer, the furthest out thagomizer, which technically is not supposed to be included in the length. It's supposed to be the tip of the tail. So I'm just going to go with the tip of the tail. Going by the tip of the tail, from what I can see, it's just a skosh over 7 inches. And doing the calculations at 1/35 scale, that puts Xilin at a little over 20 feet long. So it's right in there. You know, it's probably, if you're trying to be totally accurate, you'd have to change the scale by 1 digit. But I think that works. I'm going to go with, you already heard me change the gender to a female. And that was before I even took the measurement. But I'm going to say that it's female, and the females are a little bit smaller than male. So 20, a little bit under 21 feet, I think is great, considering that they were estimated to be about 23. So I think we're in there. Now, going back to the actual model, at that tail, you see the striping. Very nice going down. Very consistent in terms of, you know, the patchwork there. What I love is the inconsistency of the stripes, because that's how it would worked out in nature. You know, that's probably how, you know, stuff like things like asymmetry when it comes to striping and other design is probably how they recognized one another, if they even did stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They had to be able to distinguish between one another, just like how we do, you know, with our differences in our appearance. Anyway, thagomizer, you see that? Pretty nice sizable spikes there. And they're like, you know, a dark brown color. And I tell you, that's the business end. You don't want to be messing around with that. And there you go with the other side there. And that is how our Wuerhosaurus looks. Now for some comparisons, we lead off with our 1/35 scale human, representing a 1.8 meter or 5'11" human being. I think it's 5'11". Is that right? Or maybe 5'9". One or the other, something like that. Anyway, this is what a grown man looks like next to a Wuerhosaurus. And here we have, also from PNSO, another Asian stegosaur from an earlier time. This is Xilin. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is just a little bit out of scale, but not by much. It was still a little larger than a Wuerhosaurus. Next up, also by PNSO, we have the Miragaya. And I tell you, this is a beautiful animal. Both how it, originally is, and the color scheme that PNSO came with it. This is absolutely incredible. But I don't want to take the focus off of our girl Xilin. And of course, we have got from PNSO the species for which this entire clade has been so named, Stegosaurus, along with the juvie. And from Howling Good, we have the Decentrurus, looking very nice there with the spikes coming out of the shoulders. And for our final comparison, we've got the Howling Good take on Wuerhosaurus. And I've got to say, I don't know how you guys feel. I know Howling Good normally knocks it out the park with their herbivores, while PNSO concentrates their lot on theropods, meat-eating dinosaurs, bipeds, or whatever. But I honestly think that PNSO has just curb stomped Howling Good, at least in this regard. I mean, I've got to lift it up just a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. This is the Howling Good version, of course, and I'm looking at it from the top. And the reason I'm showing you guys that is because one thing I didn't mention when I was going over the model, when I looked at the top, look how wide Xilin's hips are. You know what I'm saying? The Stegosaurs were pretty stocky in that mid-region there, and it is definitely shown here. So my final thoughts on PNSO's number 82, Xilin the Wuerhosaurus, last of the Stegosaurs. They if Wuerhosaurus was indeed the last of the stegosaurs, I think they went out. On with a bang, definitely, in terms of representing what stegosaurs are about. As far as the model is concerned, I love the coloration. It is basically what we see on the packaging, just a little bit darker. The darker browns are definitely, it's more saturated than what we have on the packaging. But other than that, it's pretty close to source, what we see there on the box. The colors are beautiful. I'm loving the blue-green that we have on the plates. And it's just very nice. The pose is nice with the neck swinging to the right a little bit, and the tail swinging opposite, opposing, going to the left. The thagomizers, the spikes, pretty well pronounced. This animal wasn't to be messed with. Speaking of that, I wish that I had a theropod that I could, as far as that it lived with. It existed with a species of Carcharodontosaur back then, Asian Carcharodontosaur. Yep, that's right. And the name escapes me. I think it was Kelmeosaurus or something like that. I think it was called. But yeah, that was the those were the two. Those two got together back then, and that must have been quite a sight to see that Carcharodontosaur. Which was a medium-sized animal, not like the ones that we've come to know and love, the Maposaurs and the Giganotosaurs of the world. This was probably more in line with the size of Allosaurus, maybe a little bit smaller, somewhere around there. I don't know much about it, but I do know that meaning Wuerhosaurus existed alongside a Carcharodontosaur. So anyhow, what do you guys think of Xilin the Wuerhosaurus? Pick up for you or what? I think PNSO really did a good job on this in comparison with Howlin' Good, which they're always knocking out the park with their herbivores for sure. But I think PNSO gets the victory this go round. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're down there, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so, hit the notification bell, and you will be informed when I upload another video, hopefully in a timely fashion. Both the being informed and me coming up with another video. Anyway, that'll do it this go round. On behalf of Xilin the Wuerhosaurus, this is Wuerhosaurus Rex. You guys, thanks for rocking with me, and take care.